What's going on, you guys? Nick and Austin here.
Whoa. Austin Smash Andrade and Nick the Hitman Guardione.
Hey.
Let's say that for fucking first.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Eisman. He came up with that on the spot. I'm into it. I kind of like it.
What do you mean kind of like it?
I kind of like it. It's pretty cool.
That's the sickest.
It's pretty cool. Like, finish my event.
That's the sickest.
Oh. You know, some shit like that. That'd be fucking dope.
That's the sickest nickname I've heard in a long time.
All right, so let us know.
I think he gave Bobby Thompson Nightmare.
He did?
I think so.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
if you guys like Hitman, let us know what you think in the comments. But we're here today to do a little weekend recap of the Arnold Classic, of our individual performances, what we thought of the show in general, and then just other thoughts.
Yeah, we'll go over from the first thing. So we flew in on Wednesday, and we had a great opportunity to get on Table Talk with Dave Tate with the Elite FTS.
Yep.
So we flew in.
You didn't even tell me that.
There's stuff you need to know, and that wasn't something you needed to know, okay? This is on a need-to-know basis. Okay. Anyways, we flew into Columbus, got in around noon, and luckily
rushed over.
Our wives were, they took over the getting the bags and the rental car and all that stuff, and we got an Uber and took off over to the compound where Elite FTS, the gym, and the podcast is held. So we ended up doing it. It was awesome. It's going to come out soon. What's cool about this podcast? Actually. Yeah. So what's cool about this podcast is Tim Ingram, our coach, the owner of Heavy Metal Fitness, is in on this podcast. So you don't get to hear our mumbo jumbo or what our training is through our words. It's actually through the man that writes us the programs, that writes the workouts. So you actually get a more in-depth look on what we get when we come in to work out and what the rest of Heavy Metal gets.
I think it's by far our best podcast we've ever done. It's Dave Tate, just like, I don't know, it's good. Y'all check it out. I'm sure we'll be posting it everywhere whenever it drops, but yeah, look forward to that. And then what else?
The compound was fucking awesome.
Compound was sick. The gym, I mean, there's 1,000 bars in that gym. It's unbelievable.
There's bars behind bars that probably got left and have not seen the light of day in forever.
But it's sweet. Yeah, we'll post more about that later. On to the recap. Thursday, media day.
Media day. That was fun. What'd you think?
It was a shock for me. It was definitely like something that I've never had to deal with. So like, you know, you got to get up early, you got to go do all these interviews. You know, I was bouncing between interviews for Cerberus and Rogue, and it was cool. It was a chance to just kind of get comfortable with everybody and to just kind of talk and get warmed up. But it was fun, man. It was just like a change of pace.
I think it was a good little starter, because you're going to see in a couple weeks at Worlds that's 2 days in media, and it is nonstop, and you're jumping around. So I think this was a good little warm up for you. I was just wondering how you experienced it.
I was pretty comfortable. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable in front of a camera. I can always kind of like talk shit if I need to. Like, I feel like I can flow. So
it's crazy how they cut up that stuff, right?
Yeah.
When you finally see it, you're like, I don't know if I really said that.
Yeah, I was like, I do not sound that good. But yeah, so that was Thursday. We went and had a big dinner.
We had rules. We got equipment testing later that night. We were able to get our shirts and stuff like that. That's a cool experience. A little different from what I've experienced in other shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And then big dinner with the crew.
And then day one.
First event.
So I'll go ahead and start off on the elephant bar deadlift. You know, obviously Maxime Boudreau missed his opener. So I was basically like the first one to hit a successful lift at 780. And then, so like I was basically the whole beginning of the show. Like I was pretty much the first guy out, and then it was me up next, because my second attempt wasn't even above anyone else's opener. So, you know, I'm sitting there, the whole crowd's sitting there waiting for me. And then, you know, I like kind of catch my breath a little bit, and I was like, look, it's not going to give me too many extra points, so I'm just going to go attempt it. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. I went, failed it, you know, and then just let the show go on. So it was still a really interesting experience. I think if I had a solid 12 minutes to fully rest, I could have grind out that 840. But, you know, it is what it is. Not a great way to start a show, you know, with a big failed lift on a second attempt. But, you know, it wouldn't have given me any points even if I hit it. But, you know, then everybody else started opening up, and you opened up at what, 900?
901, yeah.
It's crazy.
That shit jumped off the ground too. I wasn't expecting it to move that fast.
Yeah.
So the plan was to hit 1,000, and that's what the plan we stuck with until the 1,000 didn't quite go over my knees.
It was close though. It flew off the ground too.
Yeah. It's a lot of torque I was able to generate. But so I hit the 901. We came out for that real comfortable 961. That move, people were saying, "Oh, he hitched it." That's just how I lift on deadlift, and that moves so quick. I probably could have had a little heavier second, but we wanted a comfortable jump into 1,000, so we didn't want to do like something a little too close to it. But it's also the Arnold too, and that's why I got a lot of people like, "Why don't you game it a little better?" I mean, we're at the Arnold. You're at the World Series. You're not going to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So,
I mean, maybe as we get more comfortable in these big shows, we'll start to like really kind of nitpick. But you know, this is our first time at the Arnold. We just want to lift as big as we can and show out and just have fun and you know, prove we belong.
If I hit that 1,000, I'm in second place.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're doing it. But what'd you think of the bar?
It was interesting. Like we trained on the Mammoth bar. And the Mammoth bar had a lot more give off the ground than the Elephant bar did. But for me, once I started getting to my knees, the Elephant bar actually had more wobble than the Mammoth bar did in the gym. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would have to say it felt very similar to a regular deadlift bar.
Yeah.
Until it hit your knees, and then that whip was sharp.
Yeah.
And that whip, that's what happened to me on the 1,000-pound deadlift. Is I got a lot of torque off the ground. I wasn't really anticipating. Well, I wasn't expecting that kind of whip. I knew there was going to be a whip coming. But we've been training on the Mammoth bar is more of a wave versus a hit, and it hit me right at the knee. The bar got out maybe an inch outside in front of me.
That's exactly what happened to me as well.
Yeah, so that's crazy. I was wondering if you're gonna say that right now too.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, same kind of thing that made us fail our lifts, but and that's too big of a weight to recover from. That far out from the body. So. Anyways, didn't get it. I ended up sixth. I ended up sixth with a 961 deadlift. That just goes to show the kind of field that we're in.
I mean, to be fair, like anywhere else, that's a winning deadlift. Like any other show, that's a winning deadlift. But you've got the best deadlifters in the world at that show.
Hands down.
I mean, and pressers, I'd say, to be honest.
Oh yeah, the pressing was nuts.
Like maybe missing Andre Foy too, and maybe one or two other guys, but that's about it. Like they had the best deadlifters, best pressers. Like
oh no, it was a solid Arnold.
Solid lineup.
Arnold,
like couldn't you know, no other better nine other guys. So all right, on to event 2.
The press gauntlet.
The press gauntlet. Okay, so Maxime went up first. I followed him right after. I got the 250 circus dumbbell. 1 rep, so that was an all-time single PR for me. I've never hit that weight before, not even in training. So hitting that weight for even 1 was huge for me. So I was already happy. Got the weight up, and then basically I thought Magnus was starting to give me the down call, so I started coming down. Once it starts coming down, you can't really recover. So he didn't give me the down call, dropped on the pad. I was like, oh no, I have to do this again. So picked it right back up, did it again, nailed it, held it for as long as he needed. So I was really happy about that, but I had already used a ton of air. So tried to take my time, not panic, walk over to the natural stone, which I knew would be an easy lift for me. Just needed a little bit of air, and I don't think I gave it enough time as I needed, because with the stone how it was kind of egg shaped, but it was also kind of like kidney bean shaped, where it was like kind of wrapped around you. So you know, gave it maybe 20 seconds of rest, re-chalked up. It was easy up to the chest, and I felt like it was going to be easy, but as soon as I tried to get my hands underneath it, you know, it started rolling around everywhere, couldn't really find it, and I needed more air to kind of figure it out. And then I just kind of ran out of air and time. So big disappointment on that one. I definitely feel like that should have been an easy press for me. I hit 380 on the log in training for 3 during the medley. And that would have been big points for me. So that was a pretty big disappointment for me, but you know.
That would have been nice if you got in between me and Thor on that one.
Overall, it happens. I mean, it is my first pro show, like still trying to figure things out. I think next time with something that new and that different from anything else we've ever tried, I think definitely day before I'll go bring it up to my chest and see if I can't find that balance point.
Yeah, it was a tricky implement.
Yeah, and then how'd it go for you?
It was good. I went out and I did what I needed to do. I wanted another rep on the log, but I did find out real quickly that the Austrian oak does not play around with you. I managed to hit the 1 rep. A little fatigued, went for the 2nd rep on the clean, and it's such a long implement that it will throw you off balance this way real quick. So that's why I didn't complete the 2nd rep. And then at that point, there was only about 10 seconds to really hit something. So I went for another clean, but it was just way too heavy.
Yeah.
Which was good enough for 4th place finish on that event. Finished behind Hooper. He got me on split time. That's why he beat me on that. And then obviously Thor got the 3 reps behind me. So that's where I was at on that one. And then onto the frame.
This is probably the one that hurts the most for the weekend. We had never dropped the frame in training. We worked up to an 845 in training on a steeper hill for a longer distance. Neither of us ever even thought about our grip one time, no. I don't think. But the handle was a little slick. There was a lot of chalk on it. That's why as soon as I finished, because I had never had a grip issue in training. I was flying with that yoke, but as soon as I initiated the pick, my right hand just kind of slipped just a little bit, and I was holding it in my fingertips. And so I had a good time. I was running good. I felt comfortable, even though it was kind of in my fingertips, but it just kind of popped out. And I just don't have the deadlift strength to deadlift it up on an incline that low. So, huge disappointment for me. I thought for sure I was going to finish, and if I had finished, that would have been a winning time. But I went back. I still got to be a good teammate. So I was like, Austin, clean that bar, clean that bar, clean that bar.
Yeah.
It slipped. So you went out, cleaned the bar, brushed it off.
I was sitting there cleaning it for about a good 2 minutes when they were like almost like telling me to hurry up. But yeah, no, it was just it was
knurled, but it was like
kind of slick,
slippery knurled. Like we have a rusty Bartos set of farmers, and I feel like that has more grip than the knurled smooth bar that they were using. It was weird. Yeah. But a really cool implement. The pick was higher than we thought it would be, so the start was much easier.
Yeah. When you get on the incline, that was rough because I didn't finish. I hit
both.
And I had a deadlift, and that 2nd deadlift was rough.
2nd deadlift's hard because your hands are already tired, the chalk's gone, and you're out of breath, and you're doing it on an incline, so it was pretty brutal.
There was a little weird call in terms of the frame on me. It looks like I dove into a line. I thought I finished it, but I didn't. And then I had to re-pick it for a time, which they didn't tell him for like 5 seconds to do. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. I feel like I lost a little bit of points on that, but I mean, it is what it is. I landed where I landed.
And to be fair, they did tell us in the rules, don't drop the frame and slide.
But I thought I saw a line.
It's hard to see because the whole front of the implement is wood, so it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell where you're at. Maybe in the future, like have a little marker on the side walls where you're coming up to, or even a further landing zone, so you can really make sure to throw it past that line. But yeah, that was a big disappointment, I think, for both of us, because that's one of the events that we both kind of shine in. But now we know what that implement's like, and kind of what to expect in the future.
All in all, going up on the ramp, that was fucking sick.
That was really cool.
That was awesome.
It was really, really cool. And then we left. We, met some people, had some dinner.
Yep.
And then day 2.
Day 2. Where were you at the end of day 2 or the end of day 1?
I don't think I ever left 9th place.
Okay.
I don't think I went up or down because I beat Maxime on every event before he pulled out, and then I never beat Bobby or Evan on any of the other events. Okay. So I never got out of 9th place, but. Day 2, I felt a lot more comfortable coming in. Day 1, I was still kind of in that, I was like in that overwhelmed state where, like I'm competing with the best, I'm here at the Arnold, like, just kind of shell shocked. And, honestly, in my mind, I was still kind of there as like Austin's helper. Like it was just kind of a weird mental headspace for me. And, but day 2, I was like, I'm not going to impress anybody, and I'm not going to get invited back if I don't lock in today. So I came in competitive, ready to go. Day 2, went way, way better for me, even just from the get-go. We started out with the behind-the-neck press, the big jerk, and we did a lot of jerking. I was the first one out, which is always a little bit nerve-wracking, even though it's a comfortable lift. But I ended up hitting every single weight that I picked, which was good because in training it was all over the place. Like I would try a weight like 4 or 5 times maybe before I would hit it, but I hit every single one. Ended up with 475 pounds, which is a 10-pound PR for me. Super stoked about that. And then I went for 5 hundo. And I think I could have gotten it. It felt really comfortable in my back. It felt comfortable getting pressed. But as soon as that weight kind of settled in my hands at the top, I felt a big clunk in my left shoulder, and so I immediately dropped it. Didn't retry it, just in case something happened and I didn't feel it yet. But I think in the future, that's definitely a number that's more than achievable. How'd it go for you? He likes the double weights, apparently.
Yeah, so I guess you gave me all that juju.
Yeah.
Missing weights on that first go, because
first 2 goes.
The first 2 goes, yeah. I had 4 attempts and I pressed 6 times. And like when you hit a weight like that and you see that timer going down, you're just like,
oh God, go.
Shit.
Yeah.
But luckily I was able to pull those 2 out.
Yeah. It was just chest position. Like as soon as he fixed chest position, it was fine.
I also think the heavier the weight, the better I start lifting. But that was a little bit. That was rough. Anyways, I hit the 5'11", 5'12", or whatever, which was
the best weight.
Super fucking pumped for.
Yeah.
I lost my mind there at the end after I got that weight, because like for real, like Nick said, like we're there to we're rookie. We're 2 of the 3 rookies. Like we needed to show out. So I'm telling myself, like, as I'm going up there, I'm like, are you gonna be that fucking dude? Are you gonna be this dude that fucking presses 5,000 or 500 pounds today? Like, are you gonna go be that guy? So I'm putting myself in a different state of mind. I hit the weight and I lost my mind a little bit, which felt good. It felt good to get there for a little bit. So I was sick, but it ended up being like a 5-way tie for that weight. So we just all shared.
There was a tie for the 475 as well. Me and Bobby I think maybe just me and Bobby.
Yeah, you and Bobby, and then it was
5-way tie for the 5'11".
It was Evan,
Tom,
me, Thor.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a 4 or 5-way tie for that.
Yeah, pretty wild.
So
but
we just all kind of push points. But
yeah, I was happy though. Hit a little PR. Great start to day 2. Finally had a little bit of positive momentum, and then into the carry and drag. Which is another one. Like this event for me was either going to go really well and I was going to win, or it was not going to go well at all. And it didn't go well. It was way heavier than we thought it was going to be. They said 1,100 pounds in the initial rules sheet that they sent us, which would have been a speed event. So I was training, and in my mind, I was ready for a speed event. And I just don't have the body weight or the quad mass to carry and drag 1,700 pounds for 30 feet. I just kind of pumped out, and it was obvious. Even though I think I had the fastest split time on the log carries, I just didn't have the body weight to pull that sled the whole way without stopping. So I ended up with I think an 8th place finish on that event, which usually moving events are really good for me, but with a heavy weight like that, it was just about strength endurance, and I didn't have it. But that suited Austin because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's got massive freaking legs. So that definitely suited a guy like you more. Even though the carry might have been a little bit slower, it didn't matter because he has that quad power to finish the whole run.
I was able to finish it. What was rough about that one is if you
twist it at all.
If you turned on it, that corner of the sled would nick the rubber, which was kind of rough. But I only got a 7th place finish on that. I think I was behind you.
Yeah.
And then there was it was really close between me, Trey, and Evan. I think it was about a couple seconds.
Did you like that event?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I thought it separated everybody else. It separated everybody out really well. It was like 3 to 5 seconds between each person. I think it really demonstrated kind of where everybody's at, like leg power wise. I think it was a cool event.
It was, yeah. It was. I think the spectacle was really cool.
The spectacle was cool, yeah.
Those logs
I think they can definitely make it. They can make it cooler, but I think the premise of it was cool. Yeah. Just like the behind the neck jerk, like just something you don't really see in strongman. I thought it was a really cool idea, and I hope they kind of keep just working on it and improving it and refining it for the next year. And then stone to shoulder. Maxime had pulled out. Bobby had pulled out. So again, I was the first one out. I had only ever hit 365 in training, but I knew that I needed a big performance to move up any spots. So I went straight for the 400, and thankfully I did because I got a couple reps, even though they weren't like full downs. I got the first one to my shoulder easy. Got it to my shoulder, got it nice and set. Didn't quite have it where it would stay for long, So I took my hand away expecting a quick down call. He did not give it. It started rolling off my chest. You can't stop it. So I dropped it. It didn't feel like it took a lot from me, so I went immediately back for it again. Got a second one up to my shoulder, but as I was trying to get it in place, I kind of had to run forward to kind of stabilize and catch it. And I ended up, tripping over the big pad they had set for us, and I fell. So then I started panicking, and I was like, well, I have to do something. Ran over to the 350, got an easy 2 reps on that, buzzer beater, second rep. Even though that wasn't the result I was hoping for, like most of these events, I think I still kind of proved that I was in the pack. If I had gotten those 2 reps, that would have been a top 5 finish, but it's just one of those things. I think I demonstrated just enough skill that, maybe I'll get invited back, but also, not quite where I want it to be. And then, your boy finishing the show with an event win.
That was my first event win ever as a pro.
That's so sick. Yeah. He won a stone event against Trey Mitchell, Tom Stoltman, Mitch Hooper, Thor, all basically the only other better stone lifter of all time is Brian Shaw. So
and he's retired.
So does that make Austin the best stone to shoulder of all time?
Oh, Jesus Christ, there's a thumbnail right there.
Let's see. I don't know.
We'll see. We're gonna have to see these. We're gonna have to see the more stone events. No, it was. Yeah. It just goes to show the picking of those events for this Arnold was.
Yeah.
It was. If you're gonna tell me that 4 reps, I was kind of expecting that because it's a heavy show, but I didn't think it was gonna be a high rep event. I didn't go out there with any expectation.
Neither did I.
I didn't. I just
wanted 1 on the 400. To be honest.
I just was gonna go out there and lift some weights, and I lifted 1. I was like, oh shit, I still got time. I lifted
and it was
2.
pretty easy, to be honest.
I lifted 2 and I still had time, and I lifted 3 and I still had time, and I was like, and then Arnold was looking at me. It's crazy when Arnold's in the front of this, right in front of you, kind of looking at you like he's very unimpressed.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like,
I'm trying, bro.
Shit.
I'm trying, dude.
And so I looked at we made eye contact. We looked at each other, and I pointed at him. I kind of laughed like, this is crazy. And I went for that 4th rep, got hype, got it, sick. I thought, Trey was coming in right after me, so that's why I didn't stop at 3.
Yeah.
Because I knew Trey could easily put up some big numbers on that. But yeah, I got the event win.
Yeah, so finished.
And I jumped from 6th place to 4th place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you ended up 4th. I ended up 9th. I think there's definitely things that we could have done better, of course. Points that we left on the table. But overall, first Arnold experience.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
It was awesome.
I really, really hope. I think Austin definitely earned a spot back next year. I really, really hope I did as well. By the end of that, I really felt like I belonged in that group. I felt like, these guys are beatable. These guys aren't invincible. Like, I'm in that range. Another year or 2, and I'll be in that mix. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. We're 8 weeks out from World's Strongest Man now?
Yep, something like that.
So next week we're going to start prepping for that, and we'll bring you guys along for the ride for that, of course. Other news: our brother, another Texas boy from the Dallas area, Andrew Burton, winning the Arnold Amateur. Huge for him. So potentially, if all of us get invited back next year, that'll be 4 Texans in the Arnold Classic.
That's almost half the field.
That would be unbelievable.
Really,
crazy. And I really don't think there's anybody, as deserving as Andrew. We've been battling back and forth in the amateur scene for the last year. He was second behind me at the Arnold, in the mix and the Shaw, and we've been battling out for a while. So I think he was 3rd at Nationals too behind me. Yeah. So he's always been right there.
It'll be the first time I compete against him if we go to the Arnold's next year. Yeah. Well, he'll go. Hopefully, I get invited. Yeah. We never know.
And that's a wrap for the Classic.
The Classic. Now we're getting ready. The next one's going to be what we got to come up with.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have. Yeah, we just Worlds.
Or we're going to just
Worlds. I guess.
Worlds.
WSM.
That's too much syllables for me.
Wissam.
Anyways. Worlds.
Thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate it. We will continue getting stronger and better. Keep representing Texas. Keep representing heavy metal fitness. We're going to be dropping a Texas Boys shirt here very, very soon. So keep an eye out on our socials.
Very, very soon.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram.
Like. And do some other stuff.
And we'll do some other stuff. We'll see y'all on the next one.